The morning mist rolled softly over the mountains of South Korea. It was the first day of winter, and the sun had not yet risen. In this quiet moment, something special was about to happen. Captain Jae-ho Kim watched Earth from his small spaceship. He had traveled very far from his home among the stars. His ship looked like a piece of crystal floating in space. As he came closer to Earth, he made his ship blend in with the morning mist. Jae-ho was different from humans. His skin looked like clear crystal, and a soft light glowed inside him like starlight. He came from a world in the Capricorn constellation, where everyone looked like living crystals. But today, he had an important job to do on Earth. Landing sequence starting, Jae-ho said to himself. His voice was quiet and gentle, like wind chimes in a soft breeze. The ship's computer showed him a good place to land, a hidden valley between two mountains. The ship floated down through the clouds. Fresh snow covered the ground below, making everything look clean and peaceful. Jae-ho saw a large building on the mountainside. It was the Earth Sleep Research Center, where humans studied dreams. This was exactly where he needed to be. As the ship landed, it stirred up the snow, creating a small whirlwind of sparkles in the early morning light. Jae-ho stepped out onto Earth for the first time. The cold air felt nice on his crystal skin, reminding him of home. He looked at his hands. The morning sunlight passed through them, making small rainbows on the snow. Jae-ho smiled. His people, the Capricornians, had watched Earth for many years, but they had never visited before. He was the first. Jae-ho carried a small device that looked like a snowflake made of glass. It was a dream recorder, a special tool from his world. He needed it to study human dreams. His people had lost their ability to dream long ago, and they needed help. Walking through the snow, Jae-ho remembered what his teachers had told him. Humans are special. When they dream, they make energy patterns that look like star maps. We need to understand how they do this. The research center was quiet. Most humans were still sleeping, which was perfect for Jae-ho's work. He walked closer, his feet leaving crystal-shaped prints in the snow. The rising sun made his whole body shine with soft colors. Jae-ho found a quiet spot near the building. He sat down in the snow and held up his dream recorder. The device began to glow softly, picking up the dream energy from the sleeping humans inside. Their dreams showed up as beautiful patterns of light, like tiny dancing stars. Amazing, Jae-ho whispered. He had never seen anything like it. Each human dream was different, creating its own special pattern. Some looked like spiral galaxies, others like shooting stars. The sun rose higher, painting the sky in soft pink and gold colors. Jae-ho knew his mission was just beginning. He had to learn about human dreams, but he also had to be careful. He didn't want to frighten anyone. A door opened at the research center. Jae-ho quickly stood up, his crystal heart beating faster. He hadn't planned to meet any humans so soon, but now he had no choice. It was time for first contact, and he hoped the humans would understand why he had come to Earth. The morning was about to become very interesting indeed. Do-yeon Park stood in the doorway of the research center, holding her morning cup of tea. The steam rose gently into the cold air. She always came early to check on the sleep study participants, but today was different. Through the morning mist, she saw something glowing in the snow. At first, she thought it was just sunlight reflecting off the ice crystals, but then the glow moved. Do-yeon put down her teacup carefully and stepped outside. The snow crunched softly under her boots as she walked. That's when she saw him. A being made of crystal, standing perfectly still in the snow. Light moved inside him like the northern lights she had seen in pictures. Do-yeon stopped walking, but she wasn't afraid. Something about the creature felt peaceful. Jae-ho looked at the human woman. He had studied humans, but meeting one was very different. He noticed that she didn't run away. Instead, she looked at him with curious eyes. "Hello," Do-yeon said quietly. Her voice was steady and calm. "Are you real, or am I still dreaming?" Jae-ho's crystal form sparkled as he spoke. I am real. My name is Jae-ho Kim. I come from the stars." He pointed to a group of stars that were still visible in the morning sky. From there, the Capricorn constellation. Do-yeon looked where he pointed. She knew those stars well. She had spent many nights studying how they affected people's dreams. "I'm Do-yeon Park," she said. "I study sleep and dreams here at the research center." Jae-ho held up his dream recorder. It glowed softly with the patterns he had collected. "That is why I am here," he said. "My people need help. We have forgotten how to dream." Do-yeon stepped closer. The patterns in Jae-ho's recorder looked like the brain-wave patterns she studied. "These are beautiful," she said. "Are these from our sleeping patients?" "Yes," Jae-ho answered. "Human dreams create energy patterns that look like star maps. We have never seen anything like it." A cold wind blew across the snow, making Do-yeon shiver. Jae-ho noticed this and felt concerned. "You are cold," he said. "Perhaps we should go inside." Do-yeon smiled. "Yes, that's a good idea. I can show you our sleep laboratory." "But," she paused, thinking, "will you be okay? I mean, will others be afraid of you?" Jae-ho touched a small crystal on his wrist. His body shimmered like sunlight on water, and suddenly he looked more human. His crystal skin became less clear, though it still had a soft glow. "I can appear more like you," he explained. "It helps me study without causing fear." Together, they walked toward the research center. Do-yeon had many questions, but she asked them softly, matching Jae-ho's calm manner. She learned that his people had been watching Earth for a long time, interested in human dreams. "We used to dream," Jae-ho explained as they reached the door. "But centuries ago, something changed. Now we cannot sleep properly. We stay awake, always thinking, never resting. We hope that understanding human dreams might help us remember how to dream again." Do-yeon opened the door to the research center. "Then you've come to the right place," she said. "We're studying the connection between dreams and the stars. Maybe we can help each other." As they stepped inside, the morning sun broke fully over the mountains, making the snow sparkle like Jae-ho's crystal skin. Neither of them knew it yet, but this meeting would change both their worlds in ways they could never have imagined. The research center was quiet as Do-yeon led Jae-ho through the hallways. The walls were painted in soft blue colors, and gentle music played from hidden speakers. Everything was designed to make people feel calm and peaceful. They stopped at a large window that looked into a room full of special beds. Each bed had soft lights above it, and screens showing colorful patterns. 5 people were sleeping peacefully, taking part in the dream study. "This is our main sleep laboratory," Do-yeon explained. She pointed to the screens. "These show us what happens in people's minds when they dream. See how the patterns change." Jae-ho watched the screens with great interest. The patterns looked very similar to the ones in his dream recorder. "On my world, we have not seen dreams for 300 years, he said. "We stay awake all the time. It makes us very tired." Do-yeon turned to look at him. "That sounds difficult," she said. "How do you rest?" "We try to rest our minds by meditating," Jae-ho answered. "But it is not the same as real sleep. We need dreams to truly rest." He held up his dream recorder again. The patterns in it matched the ones on the screens perfectly. Do-yeon's eyes widened. "Amazing. Your device shows the same patterns we see. May I?" She paused, then asked carefully, "May I scan your brain patterns? I would like to compare them to human sleep patterns." Jae-ho agreed. They went to a smaller room where Do-yeon had her special equipment. She placed some soft sensors near Jae-ho's crystal head. They stuck to his surface like snowflakes. The computer screen came to life. Do-yeon gasped softly. "Jae-ho, look at this. Your brain patterns match the stars exactly. It's like you have a star map inside your mind." Jae-ho looked at the screen. "Yes, all my people have this pattern, but we cannot change it anymore. Human patterns change when they dream. That is what makes them special." Do-Yun typed some notes into her computer. "The winter solstice is today," she said. "Our studies show that dreams are strongest during special star events like this. Maybe that's why you came today." "Yes," Jaiho said. "My people chose this day carefully. The stars are aligned perfectly." He touched the computer screen gently. "But we did not expect to find someone who already studies the connection between dreams and stars." Do-Yun smiled. "I've always known there was something special about how dreams connect to the stars. Now I know why." She showed Jaiho more screens and explained how they studied sleep patterns. As they worked, the morning grew brighter. More people would arrive at the research center soon. Jaiho and Do-Yun needed to make a plan. "We should tell Hejin about this," Do-Yun said. "He's my research partner. He studies how different stars affect dreams. He will understand why you're here." Jaiho nodded. His crystal form caught the morning light, sending tiny rainbows across the room. "Yes, we need help to understand why human dreams are so special. And perhaps," he paused, looking hopeful, "perhaps we can find a way to help my people dream again." Outside the window, snow began to fall softly. Each snowflake looked like a tiny star falling from the sky. Inside the laboratory, the sleeping people's dream patterns danced on the screens, creating a peaceful light show that matched the falling snow. Hejin Lee arrived at the research center just as the morning shift was beginning. He carried his usual notebook and a cup of hot coffee. Do-Yun had called him earlier, telling him to come quickly. She said she had made an amazing discovery. When Hejin entered the laboratory, he stopped suddenly. A gentle being made of crystal stood next to Do-Yun, looking at the sleep study data. Hejin's coffee cup almost slipped from his hand. "Hejin, please come in," Do-Yun said calmly. "This is Jaiho Kim. He has come from the stars to study dreams." She explained everything to Hejin, who listened with growing interest. "So your people cannot dream anymore?" Hejin asked Jaiho. "That must be very difficult." Jaiho nodded. "Yes, but we have found something interesting here." He showed Hejin his dream recorder. "Look at the pattern from this sleeping person. They are from the Capricorn star sign." The three of them looked at the screen. The dream patterns were different from the others. They made beautiful shapes that looked exactly like the Capricorn constellation. "This is remarkable," Hejin said, typing quickly on his computer. "Each person's dreams make patterns that match their star sign, but the Capricorn patterns are the strongest we have ever seen." Do-Yun checked the other sleeping patients. "Look at this," she said excitedly. "When Capricorn dreamers sleep, they create special energy waves. These waves could help heal sleep problems." Jaiho's crystal form glowed brighter with hope. "This is what we were looking for," he said. "These special dream waves might help my people remember how to dream." Hejin looked at more data on his computer. "The waves are strongest during the winter solstice," he said. "That's today. We need to study this more carefully." They worked together all morning, studying the dream patterns. They found that human dreams did more than just make pretty pictures. The dreams sent out gentle energy that could affect others nearby. "Watch this," Do-Yun said. She showed them how the Capricorn dreamers' patterns made the other dream patterns stronger and clearer. "It's like they are helping the other dreams become more peaceful." Jaiho touched his dream recorder to the computer. The patterns matched perfectly with his people's brain patterns. "This could be the answer," he said softly. "Human dreams might help heal our minds." Hejin checked the time. "The winter solstice peak will happen tonight," he said. "That will be the best time to test our theory." Do-Yun looked thoughtful. "We could set up a special sleep study," she suggested. "We could invite more Capricorn people to sleep here during the solstice. Their combined dream energy might be strong enough to help Jaiho's people." Outside, the snow continued to fall softly. The research center was quiet except for the gentle beeping of the sleep monitors. In the laboratory, 3 people from 2 different worlds worked together, hoping to solve a problem that had troubled the stars for centuries. Jaiho looked at his new human friends with gratitude. Perhaps today, with their help, his people would finally remember how to dream again. As evening approached, the research center grew quiet again. The regular staff had gone home, leaving only Du Yun, He Jin, and Jiho in the main laboratory. Outside, the snow had stopped falling, and the stars were beginning to appear in the clear winter sky. Jiho stood by the window, looking up at the Capricorn constellation. His crystal form glowed more softly now, and Du Yun noticed he seemed tired. Jiho, she said gently, you haven't told us everything about your people's sleep problem, have you? Jiho turned from the window. The starlight passing through him made soft patterns on the floor. No, he admitted. The problem is worse than I first said. Without dreams, my people are slowly fading away. He Jin looked up from his computer. Fading away? What do you mean? Our crystal forms are powered by dream energy, Jiho explained. When we lost the ability to dream, we began to lose our inner light. Soon, we might become like regular crystals. No life, no thoughts, no feelings. Do Yun touched Jiho's arm gently. His crystal skin felt cool, but she could sense the life energy inside. How long do your people have? She asked. Perhaps 1 more year, Jiho said quietly. That is why this winter solstice is so important. It might be our last chance. He Jin checked the astronomy data on his screen. The solstice peak will happen in 3 hours, he said. We have called 10 people who were born under the Capricorn star sign. They are all coming to help. Do Yun showed them a new screen of data. Look at this, she said. When Capricorn dreamers sleep during the solstice, their dream energy is 5 times stronger than normal. If we can collect enough of this energy, we might be able to help Jiho's people. Jiho held up his dream recorder. Inside it, the patterns from the morning study were still glowing. Even this small amount of dream energy has helped me feel stronger, he said. I had almost forgotten what it feels like to be fully alive. The 3 of them worked quickly to prepare the sleep laboratory. They set up special equipment to measure and collect the dream energy. Du Yun arranged the beds in a circle, like the stars in the Capricorn constellation. As night fell, people began to arrive at the research center. They were all different ages, but they shared the same star sign. Du Yun explained what they needed to do, and everyone agreed to help. Thank you, Jiho said to the volunteers. Your dreams might save my entire world. He Jin checked the final connections on the dream recording equipment. Everything is ready, he said. When the solstice peak happens, we should see the strongest dream patterns ever recorded. The volunteers settled into their beds. Soft music played in the laboratory, helping them relax. One by one, they fell asleep. On the monitors, their dream patterns began to appear, glowing like small stars. Jiho watched in wonder as the patterns grew stronger. His own crystal form began to pulse with new energy, matching the rhythm of the human dreams. The winter solstice was about to reveal its deepest magic. The sleep laboratory glowed with soft blue light from the monitors. 10 Capricorn dreamers slept peacefully in their circle of beds. Du Yun and He Jin watched the dream patterns grow stronger with each passing minute. Jiho stood in the center of the circle. His crystal form had begun to shine more brightly, picking up energy from the sleeping humans. The patterns in his dream recorder pulsed in harmony with the dreamer's brain waves. The connection is growing stronger, He Jin said quietly. He pointed to his computer screen. Look at how the patterns are joining together. I have never seen anything like this before. Du Yun checked the readings on her equipment. Their dreams are synchronized now, she said. They are all dreaming the same dream. She looked at Jiho. Can you feel it? Jiho nodded slowly. His eyes were closed, and his whole body glowed with dream energy. Yes, he whispered. I can hear their dreams. They are dreaming about stars and crystals. They are dreaming about my world. Suddenly, one of the monitors showed a new pattern. It looked different from anything they had seen before. What is that? Du Yan asked. It's a message, Jai-Ho said with surprise in his voice. From my people. They can sense the dream energy. They are trying to communicate with us. He-Jin adjusted some controls on his computer. Can we send a message back? He asked. Jai-Ho held up his dream recorder. Yes, through the dreams. The sleeping humans are creating a bridge between our worlds. He touched a crystal on his wrist, and soft lights began to dance around the room. The sleeping people smiled in their dreams. On the monitors, their brain patterns formed new shapes. Words appeared in light above each bed, floating like gentle clouds. They are talking to your people through their dreams, Du Yan said with wonder. Each dreamer is sending a different message of hope and healing. Jai-Ho translated the dream messages. His people were responding, sending back their own thoughts through the starlight. The laboratory filled with a peaceful glow as two worlds shared their first real conversation. The dream energy is getting even stronger, He-Jin reported. It's spreading through the whole building. He showed them a new screen. Look, even the other patients in the research center are starting to share the same peaceful dream. Du Yan watched as more and more dream patterns joined together. It's like a network, she said. A web of dreams connecting everyone in the building to Jai-Ho's world. Outside, the winter night grew deeper. The stars of Capricorn shone brightly in the clear sky. Inside the laboratory, humans and aliens were learning to speak a new language. The language of dreams. Jai-Ho's crystal form now shone as brightly as it had when he first arrived on Earth. My people are growing stronger, he said. They can feel the dream energy healing them. But the solstice peak is still coming. That will be the most important moment. The room hummed with gentle energy as everyone prepared for what would happen next. The greatest test was still to come. The winter solstice reached its peak at exactly midnight. In the sleep laboratory, the air felt charged with gentle energy. The 10 sleeping Capricorn dreamers lay perfectly still, their minds connected through their shared dreams. Du Yan watched the monitors carefully. The dream energy is at its highest level, she said. Her voice was soft but excited. All their brain patterns are perfectly matched now. Jai-Ho stood in the center of the sleeping circle. His crystal form glowed so brightly that He-Jin had to shield his eyes. The dream recorder in Jai-Ho's hands pulsed with waves of soft light that matched the rhythm of the dreamers' hearts. It's time, Jai-Ho said. He raised the dream recorder above his head. My people are ready to receive the healing energy. Through the laboratory windows, they could see the Capricorn constellation shining more brightly than ever before. The stars seemed to pulse with the same rhythm as the dreams. He-Jin checked his instruments. The dream energy is forming a beam, he said. It's moving through Jai-Ho's crystal form and up toward the stars. The sleeping people began to smile in their dreams. Soft colors filled the air around them. Blues, purples, and silvers that looked like the northern lights. These colors swirled around Jai-Ho, making his crystal form shine like a small sun. The connection is complete, Jai-Ho said. His voice sounded different now, as if many voices were speaking through him. My people are receiving the dream energy. They are beginning to remember how to dream. Du Yan touched one of the monitors. The screen showed thousands of new patterns appearing. These must be from your world, she said. Your people are starting to create their own dreams again. The healing wave of dream energy spread out from the laboratory. It filled the whole mountain valley with gentle light. Snow on the ground reflected the colors, making everything look magical and peaceful. He-Jin watched in amazement as new data filled his computer screens. The dream patterns are changing, he said. They're becoming stronger and more beautiful. Your people are not just receiving dreams, they're adding their own energy to them. Jai-Ho's crystal form began to pulse with new patterns. Yes, he said happily. For the first time in centuries, my people are truly sleeping. They are dreaming their own dreams again. The room filled with a soft humming sound like distant crystal bells. Through their shared dream connection, the sleeping humans could see Jai-Ho's world. They saw crystal cities filled with light, and crystal people who were finally learning to rest and dream again. Du Yun checked on each of the sleeping dreamers. "They're all perfectly healthy," she said. "Their dream energy is actually getting stronger by helping your people." The healing continued through the midnight hour. The combined dreams of two worlds created patterns of light that danced across the snow-covered mountains. It was a gift of peace and healing, shared between the stars and Earth during the longest night of the year. The first light of dawn touched the mountains, turning the snow pink and gold. In the sleep laboratory, the Capricorn dreamers were beginning to wake up. Their faces showed peaceful smiles as they opened their eyes. Jaiho's crystal form had changed. He now glowed with a steady, strong light that came from within. The tired look he had worn earlier was completely gone. His dream recorder showed beautiful patterns that moved like gentle waves. "How do you feel?" Du Yun asked the dreamers as they sat up. Each person described having the same wonderful dream about helping crystal people learn to sleep again. "We saw your world," one of the dreamers told Jaiho. "It was so beautiful, all those crystal buildings and the stars shining through them. We felt like we were really there." He-jin checked the final readings on his computer. "The dream energy connection is still active," he said. "It's smaller now, but it's stable, like a permanent bridge between our worlds." Jaiho touched his dream recorder to the main computer one last time. New messages appeared on the screen. "My people want to thank you," he said. "They are sleeping now, truly sleeping, for the first time in 300 years. Their dreams are growing stronger every minute." Du Yun looked at the data with excitement. "The connection goes both ways," she said. "Your people's dreams are helping humans too. Look at these patterns. They show deeper, more peaceful sleep than we've ever recorded before." Outside the laboratory windows, the morning sun made rainbow patterns in the fresh snow. The light reminded everyone of Jaiho's crystal form. It was hard to believe that just one day had passed since he first arrived. "I came here hoping to save my people," Jaiho said. "But we have found something even more special, a way for both our worlds to help each other." He-jin showed them a new screen of data. "These readings suggest that the dream connection will stay strong, even after the solstice," he said. "As long as people keep dreaming, the healing energy will keep flowing." Du Yun turned to Jaiho. "Will you have to leave now?" she asked. Many of the dreamers looked sad at this thought. They had grown fond of their new crystal friend. Jaiho smiled, his form sparkling in the morning light. "No," he said. "My people have asked me to stay. They want me to be Earth's first dream ambassador. We have so much more to learn from each other." The news made everyone happy. They began to plan how they would continue their research together. The sleep laboratory would become a place where humans could help heal Jaiho's people while learning more about the power of their own dreams. As the new day began, Du Yun, He-jin, and Jaiho stood together at the laboratory window. They watched the sun rise over the mountains, knowing that somewhere in the Capricorn constellation, a whole world of crystal people was finally enjoying peaceful dreams. "This is just the beginning," Jaiho said softly. And he was right. The simple magic of human dreams had built a bridge between the stars and Earth, creating a connection that would help both worlds grow and learn together for many years to come.